We're up to the second chapter of Yehoshua, Sefer Yehoshua. So we were talking about how Yehoshua was ready to, he was instructed to go conquer the land of Israel. So how did he start it? He decides to send two spies. And Chazal tell us he sent Pinchas and Kalev to go. And even though Moshe Rabbeinu also sent spies and that was a bad thing, that was Hashem got upset about that, this time was different. Yehoshua didn't tell anybody about these spies. And these spies, they were only two. They're not a great group of 12. So therefore, there was going to be more of a chance they'll be successful and do the job, which is to go and to see what's the best way for it to enter into Eretz Yisrael. So who do they stay by? They stay by a very interesting woman named Rachav. Rachav was actually a very immoral person. She was known as a prostitute. She was known as a person who was for hire, for immoral services. So they ended up staying by her. The king in that time of Yericho sniffed out. He heard rumors that there were spies. They questioned her and they interrogated her, and she had the zechut of hiding them on her roof. And she didn't. She threw them off. She told them, "Oh, I think they ran away already. Go find them." And then she ended up saving their lives. And b'zchut this, they made a promise to her that whenever they will come conquer Canaan, they will not go and kill her family. She'll put a scarlet string outside of her house. That'll be a sign that she will that this is the safe place, and that's a place that they should do a chesed and not kill her family. But what we see from here is interesting. Why Pinchas and Kalev, why specifically them were chosen, is because really Kalev and Pinchas both showed mesirat nefesh, pushing themselves to their limits to do the right thing. We know that Pinchas, stood up and killed Zimri ben Salu for the sake of he was sitting with an immoral woman, with a goya, and he got up and he got upset and he killed him for the word of Hashem. And then we have Kalev, who didn't give in to the sin of the spies, and he held his mouth. He guarded his mouth of Shmirat Lashon. So you see that Pinchas guarded the brit and Kalev guarded his mouth. So they have this ability to hold themselves. So therefore, that's why they were sent. And even though they stayed by Rachav, they stayed by a very immoral woman. And you would think maybe they would have thoughts, maybe the Kalitza something, Chas Shalom. No, Yehoshua wasn't worried with them because he knew who he was sending. He was sending Kalev and Pinchas. Now, what do we see happens afterwards? We see that Rachav saves them and she does the teshuvah. You would think she's an immoral woman. She doesn't care to push herself to save two Jews. And she says no. The Midrash says that she did teshuvah in that moment when she saw these righteous people and how they behave and how they act. Right away she said, Hashem is a Jewish people, is a chosen people. We heard what happened in Kriyat Yamsuf. We heard what happened with Paro and Misraim. We really believe in God as well. And she wanted to make teshuvah. The Gemara says in Masechet Zvachim that the rope that she used to use from her window to bring up customers who were embarrassed, the customers who would come to her and use her services, they were embarrassed to come to her house like a regular way. They used to sneak at night and they used to use a rope to climb into her house through a window. So there now the Gemara says she wants to make teshuvah. The same rope she used to bring in the customers, now she goes and uses it to let these tzaddikim come to hide and to escape from her house, not to get caught by the king of Yericho. So you see that what? You see that how a person, when he makes teshuvah, not just to make teshuvah and change his ways, he has to make teshuvah and the same items he used for sin, now he's going to use it for mitzvot. So therefore, the Gemara says that this was a very big teshuvah that she made, such a zechut she got that she ended up marrying Yehoshua himself. So you see how Yehoshua, interesting, we said yesterday, he was Moser Nefesh. He pushed himself to the limit to serve Moshe, his rabbi. And he was always by his side, always setting up the tables, setting up the chairs, and no matter what, he wasn't embarrassed to do the right thing. So to Rachav, she's zochet to marry him because she did mesirat nefesh, to do teshuvah with the thing that she did a sin. Now she does exactly a mitzvah. So you see the zechut of teshuvah. Look what she gave her. It gave her the ability to marry Yehoshua, the leader of Am Yisrael. You would think Rachav, a prostitute, something like that, was such a low position, immoral person. Look, they did teshuvah. They flipped everything around. A person shouldn't think, oh, look what bad things I did in my life. There's no point in trying, and there's no point of going and changing my ways. No, look, even if she was such a low job, a like a low life, still she did teshuvah, she changed her ways, ended up marrying the leader, Am Yisrael, ended up marrying Yehoshua. So you see how a person has to push himself and try as much as he can. You never know what your teshuvah can bring you. You never know what level you could reach. Ended up because of her, the spies know where to go. Ended up because of her and her teshuvah, she saved herself and her whole family. Her whole city is supposed to be wiped out. It says in the Torah, and you have to kill every Canaanite, every Canaanite. The Jews have to conquer Canaan and kill them all. But b'zchut that she protected these two people, she hosted these two guests. She kept the secret, and she went and she used the rope. She used to use this rope to bring customers do averot at night. Now she used this rope to save these two tzaddikim. Hashem saved her and her whole family. And b'zchut what? The ability to say, I will do teshuvah even if I'm very low. She used to be a prostitute. She was a prostitute. She said, Rachav. She said, I'm going to make teshuvah. I want to help these two Jews. And Hashem made it that she ended up marrying Yehoshua ben Nun, student of Moshe Rabbeinu. Why? That's the power of teshuvah. So we should all zocheh not to give up and to realize how much we bring ourselves, how much bracha we give ourselves. If you do teshuvah, it's never too late. Baruch Olam. Amen.